Welcome back to Synopsis of Stupidity, analyzing the absurdity that is this crazy world. Today we're diving into a juicy confrontation between a mainstream media reporter and a badass governor, Ron DeSantis. And this happened to occur at President Trump's West Palm Beach Mar-a-Lago resort. But I thought I'd throw a little sick humor at you first. In other news, Ghislaine Maxwell was found guilty of trafficking minors to nobody just a little over 3 years ago. Picture this, Republican governors gathering at Mar-a-Lago for a meeting with Trump. Sounds like a typical day in politics, right? Well, hold on to your hats because this is about to get interesting. Now, the reporters are throwing some pointed questions at the governors, and it's a little hard to hear, so I'll help ad-lib through this. So the question was, what do you think about President-elect Donald Trump criticizing a governor in the middle of a disaster?
Well, first of all, when Donald Trump was president, he responded very strongly to natural disasters. I can tell you he responded very positively in Florida, but he also responded favorably when there were Democrat governors. And I think he understands the importance of these situations. I will note, you talk about, what you're doing. I remember when we had our hurricanes this past hurricane season. We had Hurricane Helene, and Florida, we're locked and loaded for this. We respond. But then you go into North Carolina, it was like a third world country all of a sudden. There was no sense of urgency from the federal government. I think the state government didn't do very well. And so I'm sending my assets up there to help rescue people. Florida State Guard is up there doing that. And I think the administration was asleep at the switch. Then Milton came, and they knew that they had suffered some political negativity of that. So I have Harris trying to pick a fight with me in the middle of Hurricane Milton, saying, "Ooh, he's not taking my call." I tell you, she never called me in my whole tenure as governor on any natural disasters, and I'm not sure she's done very much on this one, even though she's there. So, these things are go how they go, but I can tell you, and I'll say the same with Biden. I worked well with Biden during his time in natural disasters, and I worked well with Donald Trump. So I'm very confident as a state that knows we face these, that a Trump administration is going to be very strong and is going to be there for the people regardless of party.
Now, we all know Ron DeSantis didn't want to shy away from a little verbal sparring match. And sorry about that plane flying overhead. I guess they were outside, and Mar-a-Lago is right in the path of the flight path for any plane going into West Palm Beach. He fired back. He defended not just his own stance, but he came to President Trump's defense as well. Was really pushing back on the idea that President Trump's criticism of what's happening in California is not inappropriate. In fact, it's very accurate. So here are some images. Anybody can find these online. And the thing is, this fire was a catastrophe. More importantly, the mayor of Los Angeles reduced the funding for the fire department $17 million. There was no water to be had in a lot of the areas that were going into fire. The fire hoses were not working because they didn't have water in the fire pumps. There are water management issues. There are forest management issues. Donald Trump had spoken to Newsom about this years ago and said, you've got to manage this better, that it's going to cause an issue. The mayor of Los Angeles had to fly back from her vacation. She was in Africa. Now, remember, there were high wind warnings, and this was hugely dangerous. And unfortunately, it came to fruition. Look at these pictures. This entire county, this entire part of the country is up in flames. But let's get back to the Mar-a-Lago showdown. DeSantis didn't just defend Trump's statements, he amplified them. He pointed out the irony of sending firefighting equipment to Ukraine, who now has a fully supplied firefighting position, while California is struggling with equipment that they could have sorely used to fight these wildfires. He questioned the water management policies that I just spoke of, and he didn't hold back on criticizing the overall response of the Los Angeles area fires. Now, whether you agree with DeSantis or not, you've got to admit the man knows how to handle the press. As we wrap up this political play-by-play, let's consider a few things. How do we distinguish between fair criticism and partisan attacks? Is it possible for the media to be truly unbiased? And in an era of increasing polarization, how do we ensure that all voices are heard fairly? These are big questions, folks, and we don't have all the answers. But that's where you come in. We want to hear your thoughts on this fiery exchange. Do you think the reporter was out of line? Or was DeSantis overreacting? Drop your opinions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more political deep dives, as well as about everything that's going on in the world today. Till next time, keep questioning, keep thinking, and keep engaging in the world around you. God bless you, and God bless America.